I guess it's easier with only two people.
And
Rip.
alright, we got the right mic this time. What's up, guys? You're
Ayo.
watching, or actually today just listening to the Devil Drives Lada podcast. Um, it's gonna be a short episode today. I'm not feeling well. A couple of the other guys are also not able to join us due to not feeling well. So it's just gonna be a quick, short episode, and with Ian and I. But just wanted to go over a few things and actually ask for you guys' help. So I'm Jamie. I am your host. I spent time in Ukraine in a combat role. I like to LARP with BBs and overall just have fun. And ultimately, we started this podcast just to spend time with our friends and community and kind of share our own stories and experiences to hopefully help others out. So that is me, and then I am joined today with Ian.
What's up? I didn't do any of that cool stuff. I'm just a guy who makes costumes and gear for autistic LARPers of all flavors.
Oh yeah, we need to more definitively define your company because people are getting us confused.
Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's a thing that's happening. Um, I run a company called Operator Supply. We are now based in Florida. Um, I do custom sewn uniforms and nylon gear and all kind of fun other stuff like that. We are not a surplus store. We do sell some surplus, but it's just very particular items and mostly difficult to come by foreign surplus and stuff like that.
You do tons of custom stuff too. Everything
Yeah,
from
yeah,
raid
that's the
mods
main
to
main part of our business.
somebody was asking. So the context here is I've had several questions from multiple people in the past, probably 2 or 3 weeks now, asking about Ohana Arms Roll One pouches, as well as if we make our own raid mods. And the answer to both of those is no, I don't do either of those, and that's actually Ian with Operator Supply. Operator, I will still always call it that. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm the one that did it. I named it stupidly.
I love it. I think it's great. I've had to explain to so many people.
Yeah, it made sense at the time when we started in Hawaii, but it requires explanation every time now. It's starting to get old.
I had to spell it to someone not too long ago looking for your website. And they were like, "So what's up with the Hawaiian theme?" And or something like that. And I was like, "Well, because it started in Hawaii." And they're like, "Oh yeah, 808 is the Hawaii area code or something like that." And I was like, "Yeah, that's that's
Yeah,
where it came from. It's one of the
I
kind of
fully knew
play on words."
that.
Um, but yeah, Ohana Arms is separate from Operator Supply, and they make much cooler things than we do. In fact, I think the only thing we have. Wait, we talked a few episodes ago about me trying to be able to sell our Magpul PMag locking plates, and I submitted an appeal, and then I was just randomly on the website not too long ago, and they were listed for sale
On your website?
on my website. So I think the appeal actually went through.
Yeah, because the thing is, the terms don't say that you can't sell it on your website. The terms say that you can't sell it on Shop, which is their app platform.
Well, that's what it's listed on.
Mm.
Let's see.
And I think it's specifically firearms and firearm parts, which yours is an accessory, which I don't think. I mean, I would argue is not the same thing.
Oh no way! It legitimately lets you buy them right now. So, yeah, I guess we have accidentally launched our product after like 6 months.
Sick.
So yeah, the product we've been working on, guys, we've showed it here on the podcast. It is custom made locking plates compatible with, I guess I have to use words carefully here for copyright reasons, compatible with PMag magazines. Specifically Gen 2, Gen 3 will come this year, for sure. But yeah, check those out. They're custom made. We make them here. Have done a lot of durability testing with heat, droppage, or dropping, impact, all the above, and have had a very low number of failure rates in comparison to the tests done. And none of which actually impeded function of the magazine or anything like that. Really just boils down to cosmetic stuff. So yeah, check those out, ohanaarms.com. And then for all of your custom uniforms and drippy foreign surplus from Not a Surplus Store, go to Operator Waiter Supply.
Yeah, I hesitate to call some of it surplus because we're not really supposed to be like, if they don't actually surplus it, is it surplus? I mean,
Yeah, you ran into some of that kind of recently. We have a really fun episode. Somebody asked me the other day, what is your funnest episode you've had? And I was like, honestly, I think it's the one where we talked about Ian getting his latest uniform delivery. Or one of your coolest uniform deliveries yet, smuggled in from another continent that is not surplus material.
one where we talk to the real life Danny Archer, basically.
Yes.
Except it's even funnier because he doesn't even get that reference because he's never seen the
He has
movie.
no idea. So yeah, we are two separate stores, but we have officially, I guess, launched our PMag compatible locking plates. So go check those out. That is such a anticlimactic way to finally launch these after almost a year. But yeah.
I still see that as an absolute win.
Yeah, honestly, yes. So I'm happy for it. We will continue to improve on them. And we probably will not have a generation, like, this will probably be one and done thing as far as like Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, unless we find flaws that need to be fixed. But there will be a small lead time. We have limited supply in stock, and the rest will have to be made on demand until we get supply picked up, depending on popularity. But share with your friends. Really cool. And once again, for roll ones and raid mods, go to Ian's shop. Oh, you're also on Instagram.
Yeah.
Too. Somebody asked me if they can find you on social media, and I gave them your Instagram.
Yes, we are in fact on Instagram. That's pretty much the only advertising that I do besides this podcast, which, let's be real, I don't do a very good job.
So yeah, little housekeeping tip there. Be sure to buy your stuff from us or other small businesses.
Basically, if it's made from fabric, I do it. If it's
Yes.
anything else, Jamie does it.
And you don't, we don't import our things pre-made from China either, unless it's surplus in your
Yeah, unless I have it specifically marked as Chinese surplus, then that was made in China.
So yeah, without further ado, I think those are pretty solid intros. Be sure to go buy our locking plates. We need your help. So for a while now, we have actually a document. We may have even shared it before on the podcast of what each episode should look like. I don't remember the last time we actually followed that document, which explains why we've been so scatterbrained. But one of the biggest things is I've kind of started to just hate talking about current events, because the world's just gotten really depressing. I think current events are extremely important, like extremely, and I think it's even everyone's duty, because I can't think of a better word, as cringe as that sounds, to like be keeping up with what's going on in the world and how you can make a difference or how it affects you and others. I think I don't personally agree with people that like to live in their own bubble and disassociate with the world, while still continuing to how do I say this without sounding like a complete dick? But yes.
I don't think there is a way.
Yeah. I yeah, y'all know where I'm going with this. Not that those people, are horrible or I had somebody the other day said, oh, it was Sean. Sean has a individual that he knows, um, that basically told him, only land owning males should be able to vote. And yeah, that's far from the truth, and none of us here believe that.
Crazy position to take
Um,
in the Big 2-6.
yeah. um, yeah, that's just not how it works, and isn't how it should work, by any metric. I think everyone should be able to vote and have the same equal voice, and even on topics that don't necessarily affect them. That's one of the things that bothers me about the once again, not to piss people off, but like the women abortion stuff and things like that. It's like I do think men should be also be able to have a say, just like women should have a say on quote unquote men things, because that might be a hot take, but that's a topic that changes laws and things, and that does affect everyone. So I think everyone should have a say in different things, but I do think everyone should also take time to research and dig into what's actually going on in the world and how it affects them and others, before blindly voting or talking politics or thinking what is actually going wrong, right or wrong in kind of this world you've crafted, bubble and world you've crafted for yourself. So, with that said, current events by no means are like disappearing from this podcast, but it really is depressing to get on like week after week and just talk about how much the world sucks. And yeah, because there really, maybe this is just me, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of good stuff going on. At least with good
It can
intentions.
certainly be difficult to find.
So, yeah. And on the flip side of that, planning actual topics does take time, and some of that's on me and us for being lazy or not thinking about it or whatever. But it's also just kind of hard to pick up, find things to talk about sometime. I've talked about. I know originally I wanted to go through my whole time in Ukraine, but unfortunately I did not get through all of that. But it's kind of hard to sit through 2 or 3 hours of me just kind of talking about things that aren't as cool. It's one thing to give play-by-play to a firefight that happened. It's another thing to just kind of slog through, hey, this is what it was like to just sit in a trench. And like you can really only talk about so much, and that's where we need y'all's help. We need some topics. I think one of the coolest things I've seen recently, Ian can also attest to this because he also watches their stuff. Falcon Claw does some really cool stuff. Isn't it Falcon Claw, Ian? All their little short form like Instagram stuff, and like mini documentaries on like thermals and how it integrates and nods, different shooting things, stuff like that.
Definitely seen some cool stuff from them, yeah.
Like I think that's one of the coolest things where like it seems like every week they have a new topic of, can you use an umbrella to block thermals, or hey, this is a project we're working on and we want to talk about how it works, or you guys have been asking, how to do this certain CQB technique or whatever. And of course, yes, that's video form, but I have loved that kind of let's pick a main topic and then kind of tie it into other things weekly. And I would love to kind of do something more like that. But it's honestly quite difficult when there's just so much you could potentially talk about to pick one thing. So we'd love some comments. Like, is there something you guys want? Something you guys want to know about? Or even, like, is there just stuff that y'all want to hear us ramble more about? Some of the feedback we get is, hey, we love y'all stuff and we love to just hear you guys ramble about stuff. But, like, ramble about what exactly? Give us some direction here and we will take it and do our best with it. Because I don't want to just sit for 3 hours and talk about how Zionism is ruining America every episode, or how the war in Iran sucks and we shouldn't be doing it, and all of our opinions and things like that, and how there's some serious issues with the current militarization of U.S. police departments and federal three-letter agencies. So, yeah, let us know, and we'll do our best to get to that. That's one nice thing about not having a ton of viewers. Like, our videos on average I think we're at like 30 views on average per video, which is awesome. As we've talked about many times, and we were even talking about pre-show here, we don't really care if people watch. We really just want to enjoy each other's company, hang out, and share with others who, want to watch, but we're not doing it for the views or the money. But that's a cool thing about having a small community, is we can quite literally read every single comment that ever comes through. And take that feedback to heart and improve on it. So your comment will get read. If we noticed today that like half of our YouTube videos have gotten their comments disabled, we have no idea why. I went into the YouTube videos and it says they're not restricted, yet comments are restricted. So if you can't comment on this video or any of the videos, shoot us a message on Instagram and we'll take it from there. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, is just give us some direction. Tell us what you guys enjoy watching or seeing or listening to, rather. And we'll do our best to kind of cater to that. And while by no means are we some awesome, crazy guys that have done tons of combat, we're not 15 combat deployments in a tier 1 group. So, like, we're not exactly professionals, but we're very well rounded, and I will give us credit for that. And there's lots of things that we would love to just teach you guys, or at minimum research and relay. So yeah.
As much as we love shouting into the void.
Yes. We also each have our own strengths. So like, if you've been watching the podcast long enough, you'll probably know what those are. Whether it's our actual skills and wheelhouse or how we handle topics and conversations. So feel free to say, hey, we want to hear Ian talk about this, or Sean or Jamie talk about this, or Zach, whoever. We would love to discuss that further, because we each have our own things that we're better at, and we play off each other very well. I think we've even probably, at some point in all the episodes, kind of gone over what each of our wheelhouses are. They probably don't. If you've been watching long enough, you probably don't even have to decipher that. You've probably just heard us say it. Speaking of that, here's a short little story for you. This weekend I did some clay shooting, like shotgun clay shooting. And there's people I've never actually shot with before. And we all get there, and somebody was like, hey, so you're like this big shooter guy, and spent time overseas, blah blah blah. You got a lot to live up to right now. Like, you're gonna have to show us how this is done.
Why?
And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm horrible. I was like, I hope y'all don't look up to me for like shotgun advice. Like, I'm a at best
because
half a box
shooting
of...
is shooting. It's all the same.
I'm at best, when I bird hunt, like half a box of bird. At worst, like a box of bird. Like, don't look at me for shotgun advice. Like,
Like a box of bird is crazy.
Yeah, I literally, there were I think 5 of us. 2 bird hunters, a brand new shotgun owner, and a couple others, and me. So it was 6 or 7. So there were 6 or 7 of us. I did the worst out of every single person there, including the brand new shotgun owner. And I had a semi-automatic bird gun. He was using a pump, a Maverick 88 pump. So like $150 pump shotgun.
No, brother.
And I'm using a relatively high dollar semi-auto bird gun, 12 gauge bird gun. And yeah, it was extremely embarrassing for me. Especially since apparently I'm Mr. Shooter Man with time overseas, and I should be good at shooting clays out of the air. So one of the guys was like, dude, you really need to lock in. He's like, I need you to start imagining they're drones.
Oh my god.
I was like, bro, I'm trying.
If these are drones, I am cooked.
Yeah, we're so cooked. Which funny enough, I told him, I was like, I have a drone kill, ironically enough, but it was sitting still. it was hovering way up, and I was the only one with a suppressed, like, magnified zoom, and just was able to eventually take it down. I was like, but it wasn't moving. So yeah, don't ever look at me for shotgun advice unless it's just basically for breaching. That is the extent of my shotgun knowledge.
If it's inside a foot away, I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to talk about shotgun reloads, I'm okay. Breaching stuff, fine. Hell, I can even talk to you about, like, turkey hunting with a shotgun. But once again, that's just turkey hunting plus put red dot on turkey's neck. So, I mean, like, it's not that big of a deal. And what's crazy, too, is, like, skeet/clay shooting is, like, so hard because you have, like, really no feedback. Like, the thing I kind of kept saying is, like, if I knew what I was doing wrong,
you're just shooting into space.
like,
Yeah.
and it was, if I could run the same course over and over, like, I was getting better at each course course of fire because I was figuring out, like, the timing. Like, hey, it's this distance away, and it was very windy, too, which I'm sure was not helping the situation. It was taking a lot of consistency out. But I was like, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, so many times I'm like, oh, that is 100%. I'll squeeze the trigger. Nothing. There's other times I was confident, would drill it. Then there were other times I was like, oh, that was a miss, and then just absolutely destroy it. I was like, oh, there's no consistency in this. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So at one point I just kind of started, like, just doing something slightly differently every single time. So, like, just aim another foot in front, aim another foot behind, whatever. And then over time I was like, okay, well, this is working. And then we'd go to the next course, and the distance and speed is completely different. I'm like, well, this sucks. So yeah, please don't ever ask me about shotgun advice or shooting flying birds. Not very good at it.
Burbs.
Burbs. So yeah, we all have our own wheelhouse. The funny thing is, I don't think anyone in this group is really a bird hunter. So, there are things the audience, you guys could definitely teach us. Yeah, if you're a bird hunter in the comments, please tell me how to be better. It's also funny because the whole time we were going, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be a box of clay, which I was being completely sarcastic. Like, that, I really didn't think any of us would be that bad. And then sure enough, me and a few others were quite literally a box of clay. So, yeah. What else do I have? That's really the only big things I have. I guess a quick update. We haven't talked about it in 2 months. Somebody commented about the Vault project I'm still working on. And I think this is getting more and more important. Backup information, guys. Like, if you have anything to do in the IT world, you've heard of, like, the 3-2-1 backup rule. Like 3 copies, and then have 1 copy offsite. So, like, if your house burns down, you still have a copy of all your data, stuff like that. So, like, do back up your own information, but then, and data and pictures, photographs, whatever. But then also just back up, like, hoard as much data as you can that's going to help you in life. Like, don't take Google and Google Maps or Wikipedia, really anything, movies, music, whatever. Of course, we're not promoting piracy, just FYI, YouTube. Don't demonetize us. Not that we're monetized anyway, but we're not promoting piracy.
Monetize.
But
Fuck.
yeah, we're not monetized. But like, hoard information. You can download the entirety of Wikipedia. It fits on 128 gig flash drive as of right now. something I was reading recently was thankfully, as of I think it was last week, AI has now been banned from Wikipedia, so that's really cool. Editors are still allowed to use it to help them write their edits and content. However, just using AI to write it as an editor has been banned, so that's awesome. Shout out to I think it's just the Wikipedia project for that. Um, but something I have read recently is like Wikipedia is being extremely weaponized and pushing narratives without us even knowing it. And it's not necessarily the Wikipedia. I think it is the Wikipedia project that's doing it, but it's like government entities removing things or forcing things to be removed or changing things. And we are losing information and access to it. So
Yeah, they're just like actively memory holding stuff
yeah,
by removing it from Wikipedia or changing.
yes. So like, do something as simple as download Wikipedia. It's super easy to do. Just literally Google it. Like you could do it. Like you can buy a 128 gig flash drive on Amazon or like your local electronics store. Obviously, try to support small businesses, but flash drives are extremely cheap on Amazon. But you can buy like a 100 name brand 128 gig flash drive, even in the RAM apocalypse and silicon shortage right now, for like under $15, under $20. And you put it on there, and then boom, you have no you have no electricity, you have no internet, whatever. You can have the entirety of Wikipedia on your phone or laptop with you. Same thing with movies, music, books, maps, you name it. It's all very simple to do if you take a few minutes and research it. You can also run offline LLMs, things like that, which is LLM is large language model. With that said, the offline ones aren't necessarily large language. Some of them are. The average computer cannot run an LLM, but it's just a language model. But you can have some very powerful language models run locally on your phone or laptop or desktop computer, completely offline, not stealing your data, not accessing the internet, completely uncensored if you want to talk about uncensored things. Pretty great. Like, highly recommend that. So, don't be so dependent on the internet and having access to it. So I'm still working on that. All that to say, a semi-public Ohana Arms release is way out in the distance. But I will continue to kind of share progress and update you guys as I proceed with it. And we're actually going to be very soon working together as like a group, basically this podcast group plus a few other people, to optimize it, organize it, add, subtract, and just make it as streamlined as possible for the event something does happen, or even just, this isn't even necessarily made for like emergencies only. It's also just made for like not having your data collected. You guys would be absolutely amazed with just how much data websites, companies, etc. farm from you and are able to collect from you by just looking at like your search patterns and history and things like that. So yeah. I think that's really all the updates I have. Once again, I'm not really feeling good, and there's only 2 of us, so this will be a short episode. But do you have anything to add, Ian?
I got nothing, brother.
I think this will be a record for us. Shortest episode. We're at 29 minutes right now.
Oh yeah, that's by far the shortest one.
I think our last one was over 3 hours, but it was a good one. So yeah. Any other updates? I think we hit on all the topics. You get all of your custom-made stuff from Ian and his shop. Roll ones, raid mods, things like that. Currently, I think the only products I'm offering are PMAG compatible locking plates for Gen 2, as well as I think we still have some flags left on the website. And some patches. But I think I'm actually going to do some kind of lottery system for ordering some locking plates. With our current, we had a limited run of patches like a year ago that I still haven't decided what to do with yet. So yeah, we had an airsoft event that we all went to last year, and everybody got their own patch, and then I made leftovers to do like an Ohana event with, and just haven't done anything with them yet. We'll probably do something like if you order a certain number of plates, you'll be entered into a lottery system, or maybe just if you order a certain number, you'll get a free patch or something. So stay tuned for that. But you can buy plates right now, and please do and give us your feedback. We're very excited and proud of them. Lots and lots of time has gone into these, like an astronomical amount of time over the past year. And I think everyone on this podcast at least has run them. So, and so far, as well as some other people that are on deployments or have been while using them, and everyone has been extremely happy with them so far. So, extremely proud and excited for that. You can buy them now, apparently.
Right now.
Right now. And I'll actually, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do a whole separate YouTube video showcasing them. Because we've talked about it on the podcast, I've kind of showcased it on there, but I think it's very unrealistic for somebody to go digging through dozens of 3-hour podcasts to find the 30-minute showcase of them. So I'll probably shoot some sort of like just 5-10 minute YouTube video explaining who they're for, what they're for, how to use them, how to install them, etc.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, look for that. That will be soon-ish. More than a week, less than 2 months. So look for that soon. And just be sure to subscribe. We've gained a few extra subscribers recently. We're at 70 now.
Cool.
Yeah, moving up in the world.
Big time shit.
And just like overall, thanks for watching and supporting us. I really appreciate the messages I get. I share them with all the guys about your feedback, and I think most of the time the feedback has been fantastic, and we really appreciate it. Once again, we don't do it for the public, but it's really nice to kind of have some affirmation that, hey, we're doing things right and people appreciate us. So yeah, other than that, next week's Easter, I'm not sure if we'll have an episode or not, but we shall see. So yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, do we have any dad advice? Neither of us are dads. We have no dads this episode.
Yeah, I try not to be honest.
Try not to be a dad.
Yeah.
So far successful.
Yeah.
Don't cheat on your wife.
That is strong advice, yeah.
I was thinking about Grand Thumb's dad advice and how he used to give it every episode, and now I don't think we really see it anymore. And probably because dad advice is really lacking from him recently. So, yeah. Take care of your family. Don't cheat on your wife. There you go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching or listening this week. And TB determined if we have an episode next week. But if not, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and see you